It's Shy Ridgely here. I am co-hosting today on Chet Chats. We just want to have a friendly welcome back. It's great to see you guys all again. I know we stepped away for a minute, but don't worry, we have great things coming up. I'm going to leave it over to my dad now before we get into today's segment.
Thank you, Shy.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank y'all for joining in live with us, those who are able to do so. But before we get started, I got to give my sponsor shout outs. First, I'd like to thank Absolutely99.com for participating in helping this venture come true, as well as changing lives at home, as well as LA Gear, LA Cruiser, LA Cruiser, Hefe Hair, and Synergy, and last but not least, Premier Title and Tag Company. But before I get started, I promised a good friend of mine that I would also give him a shout out live with Live More Daily by Greg Dorsey. Please go out and support him. It's a good book. I've been reading it since I got it, and it's a daily regimen type book. So get out and support him. Now back to Shy, so let's get back to the topic at hand.
So a lot of people know, and if you don't know, May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month. But what people don't realize is that mental health is kind of a topic that should be discussed year-round. So the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI for short, that a lot of people know, actually take a week out in October. So it's the first full week in October every year. So it's next week, October 7th to October 15th, where we just shed light on the fact that there is a stigma involving mental health. So I have some questions for my dad today, so we can just dive into this topic in a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know you was having questions.
That's what's happening today.
Okay, I thought I was going to just talk about what I wanted to talk about
We could do
as it relates to the stigma associated with mental health.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay.
So my first question, Dad, is do you know how many mental health illnesses there actually are?
The answer to that will be no. I do not know how many mental health issues that they are.
And a lot of people don't. I can't even name all of them. But there are actually 200 or more mental health illnesses that are going on. So most people only know about like anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, dementia, etc. But there are actually way more.
Wow, I had no idea that, because growing up, we wasn't even familiar with different mental health issues, illnesses. And when I was growing up, it was considered either you're crazy, as the term is used, meaning insanity, or you was the normalities of what's happening in your community. So I had no idea. I just started learning of different awarenesses as I gotten older, as well as me myself, learning the difference with me, and especially being in the long incarceration that I was involved in, that I realized that my mind needed rebooting as well.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I realized. I don't know if you realize it, but when you're gone from a place such a long time, and for me, I can't speak for everybody that's been incarcerated or in prison or whatnot, but I can speak for me. I knew that my mind needed rebooting. Mm-hmm. So I personally went out when I came home to seek therapy for myself. And like I said, the stigma that was associated with therapy or seeing a psychiatrist, but they used to call it a shrink, and I'm not sure if they still use these terminologies nowadays, but that's what they used to call it. And if you said to anyone in my neighborhood that you was going to a psychiatrist, that you were considered crazy.
Or lesser than.
Or lesser than.
Not normal, or something wrong with you for having to seek help for mental reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm glad that so many people that are in position now are willing to speak out on these different type of mental illness that does exist in many communities. I mean, I can't speak for every community, but I know it exists in many communities. And one of the things with the Hefe is to bring awareness to this, not just economic freedom, but also empowerment. So that's one of the subjects I'm glad that you decided to want to talk about and so forth. So any other questions that you had in mind?
Well, no.
Because I got some things, excuse me for cutting you off. I got some things that I really want to get into about how it affected mental health.
Well, yeah, let's get into it, because next week is the awareness week involving stigmas, and there are, like you said, there are multiple stigmas around it. There's stigmas that if you do identify with one of the mental illnesses, that you are crazy or that you're not normal, quote unquote, whatever normal actually means now.
Right.
And then there's a stigma evolving around like men don't actually have mental illnesses, or they don't have disease, primarily in women. So I guess, like, what are your ideas involving around the stigmas before you like jump into your other topics around it?
Okay.
It's like, how do we go, I guess, to lessen the stigma that mental health,
it serves?
Right.
Okay. A suggestion that I have is to become aware. Awareness is one of the things that I learned, that if you're not aware, we tend to discard it. You know, a lot of people tend to discard it if you're not aware, if you're not abreast on what's going on or what's actually happening, you tend to discard it. So I think, you know, with the help of other institutions and people that's actually practice in the fields of mental health, the more awareness that people get and the more access to it, I think it then will evolve into actually being a topic of no stigma associated with it, just like with so many other things through time. And I think through lack of knowledge, it caused these stigmas to it. Because, you know, certain things that wasn't accepted 20 years ago are now accepted today. And we won't get into that, but
another topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But what I do know is we had to lessen the negativity that's surrounded by things. Meaning, most people think once you have a disease,
that's it.
That's it.
That's how you identify.
Yeah, that's how you identify. And I don't believe that's fair to the person with the disease or diseases. But it seems as soon as you label somebody with a disease, it then says, "Oh man, get away from them ASAP." In reality, is, in my opinion, as I gotten older and more mature, it's not that way. So that's one of the things that I know we need to answer your question, to bring more awareness. More people talking about it, the more get in the front of conversations, not on the back burner as they call it. I think the more people will be more understanding of the situation. You know, it's just like with any other diseases that we have out here. As we get more knowledge on it, and as a society, I believe we tend to not all embrace it, but at least understand it. Even if you don't agree with it, you at least understand it, have a better understanding of it. Yeah, because for me growing up, as I shared earlier in the broadcast, that it was looked at, if you told a person that you needed mental help, that things was going on in your brain that you did not understand how to comprehend or to deal with, you was considered crazy, literally crazy. And like, I know for this journey that I've been embarked on with me and other friends and family members, I know being mentally sound is an extremely important part of a healthy lifestyle, in my opinion. Because without your mental as well as your physical health, I don't believe you can achieve greatness at a level that healthy lifestyle is meant to do. And whether or not you agree with me or not, that's up to you. It can be debated. But I know that me personally, after serving that long, lengthy sentence, to me, that my mind was operating differently inside prison than when I came to civilization again, as many of us call it, that it was needed rebooting. Like most computers, they update them every 3 years for the most part. So in your mind, I think your mind need daily rebooting, in my opinion. Your mind need daily rebooting, and I believe mine did. So as I suggested to others as well as myself, seek help. And oftentimes when you seek help from somebody you don't know, you don't always get the bias towards you. You get objective opinions or objective facts to a situation. You don't get that bias, oh, I love them, so it's okay and whatnot. But if you need help, I think you should seek it. And I'm personally seeking help myself.
I think that's probably can be related to like another stigma as well. Like asking for help means that you're a weaker person, when in reality, in my opinion, it just means that you're trying to strengthen who you are as a person, to, like you were saying, about your mental stability and mental health, etc., physicality, all of that. When you don't know the answers yourself, you should ask the questions so you can keep bettering yourself as a person. Because at the end of the day, like your mind, you live with you. So your mind is the most powerful thing that you possess as an individual.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like anybody that know me and all my comrades that's been down with me, they know that I promote this.
Right.
I might not promote it at the level of the awareness that's needed, but I tell anybody that done a long sentence or been in prison in some capacity or not, because prison is not always physical place.
Right, yeah.
A lot of times prison is in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell them to go seek help. I encourage them to go seek help, and if they choose to want to talk to me about it, I'm more than willing to talk to them about it as it relates. Thank you, Rachel, for joining us in this conversation of mental health. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please state it online.
Yeah, Marcel too.
Marcel, thank you, brother. I appreciate you chiming in with us and whatnot, because I really believe if we can get our mindset in a positive light collectively, I believe that Hefe will be a successful lifestyle for many people in generations to come. And I know, like I said earlier, and I might reiterate it, that I go seek therapy myself. Now, I don't go every day. I go every 2 weeks now. And when I first came home, I was going every week, give or take, because I wanted to make sure that I was in line with what was going on in present day time. And for those who know me and those who know where I've been, that it's two different worlds, unfortunately. It is, and it might sound crazy, but it's almost like you're in another country when you're doing a prison sentence. So when I came back out, I wanted to be in line, whether it, better my relationships with my children, better my relationship with my friends, try to mend any relationships that wasn't mended during my whole process of incarceration. And I know for a fact that therapy has helped me. I can't speak because that's another important thing. You must get with a therapist that can help you, that give you input, as what they call it, the word that constructive criticism. I couldn't think of I couldn't think of a constructive criticism, and be accepted to it, and don't just discard it because it's not what you want to hear.
Right.
Be accepted to it. Take time.
It's hard to hear a lot of the time.
Oftentimes, yes.
To hear it.
Yes, I agree with you so wholeheartedly, Cheyenne, that the truth often is hard to hear, and with so many things going on that we tend to dismiss the truth. Mm-hmm. With all the quote unquote fake news, fake this. When did we get to a society when we promote fakeness? I didn't understand that, and that's another thing I'm having hard to come to grips with, where I was taught, be real, God will bless realness. That's what I was taught. And I'm not trying to get all religious with people right now, but I'm just saying, when did we advocate fakeness in society?
I think with the boom of social media and how social media has progressed so much, especially from you being like around my age, etc., that it's easy to hide behind computer screens and easy to hide behind Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. So like news in itself isn't just being portrayed on TV anymore. It's like in the palm of our hands constantly, daily. Okay. So fake news, unfortunately, is a thing now, I guess. But I agree with you in that, I mean, you should always live an honest life and be truthful and stand in that light, because it's your truth.
And please know, when I'm being truthful, as she just stated, I have lived a life that's not accepted to some people.
Right.
So I don't want you to think I'm on this broadcast being an angel. Oh, he done had an epiphany and all of a sudden he's God sent. No, I'm a human being that makes mistakes constantly. However, I am working on eliminating those mistakes, especially mistakes that affect other lives. You know, I personally do it to myself, it's a little better, it's more acceptable for me. But when you make mistakes that affect other people's lives, then that's what I'm working on, you know, and trying to Twitter fingers. Okay. Excuse me for that. But yeah, so like I said, anybody that's coming home from imprisonment, whether it's physical imprisonment or still mental imprisonment, please seek some advice and help from others, because I think it will better your situation with your family, with your friends, and definitely, most definitely with yourself. Because once you get a better understanding of self, then you can then maneuver accordingly to yourself and potentially have a better outcome in anything you decide to do in life, anything, you know. And that's one of the pieces that I will continue to advocate, that, like you said earlier, that you're not weak if you're strengthening yourself. Most people, that's like a strengthening coach, you exercise. So you have to exercise your mind. You have to get coached. You have to have mentors in these same capacities that most people think are good for that. But when it comes to mental health, they don't think is good. So I think that you need to have a great balance with that, you know, with mental health as well as physical health. And then eating right will also combine to a better outcome, I believe.
I think if anything, some of the strongest people I know are those who don't just rely on themselves and who actually ask and seek guidance from other beings who do have more knowledge on certain subjects than the individual have.
Absolutely. Any other questions you have? Because we're going to wind down, because I know I learned about social media that y'all don't like to be on air, you know, listening too long. So I'm running to work on that, because I think I can talk all day. I think I can talk all day. Hey, Carlos. Hola, amigo. So, you know, I think, you know, I can talk all day on this, and especially people. I mean, I will be having people that actually participate in the field, that actually are professionals. They went and got their license to talk about it. And again, if anybody know me, I try to separate opinion from facts. And a lot of times when I talk, it could be my opinions a lot. You know, that's why I always say in my opinion, because it might not necessarily be a fact. So I tend to stay away from fake news altogether, because I don't traffic in that type of activity. Anybody that know me, and again, I'm a work in progress. And okay, please don't stop. Okay, that's what my cousin Rachel said, don't stop. So Shy, any other things that you want to talk about as it relates to mental health? Brother Oja Abu, thank you for joining in. Thank you for being part of the Hefe lifestyle. Thank you for being a co-creator, because you saw the need for Frank. Forgive me, y'all, as people come in, I'm not good with reading off and on the screen.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Frank, how you been, fam? I'm still waiting for my lunch. Yes. Yeah, I said that live, Frank. Just joking. Everybody know me and Frank go way back. Yes. Thank you, Marcel. I need y'all help with this project. I don't expect to do it by myself. I always say my motto is we win, and I really mean that. Anybody that used to be with me in my previous past occupation knew the same concept applied. Now I'm just applying it to this concept for the masses, hopefully, you know, with the help of others and whatnot. And Shy, what else you want to talk about? Phone ringing, y'all. Forgive me on that.
I think that a lot of what you're saying about like community, it's not just about self, is really what a Hefe lifestyle is about. Just seeking that stability mentally, physically, emotionally, etc., and not just for one person, but for the mass of people.
Thank you. And yes, please, people, get out and share this. And those that just joining in late, go back and take a recap on it, because I know if we reboot our mind to new concepts and understanding, that we can continue to build a Hefe lifestyle. I know this within my inner soul. I wake up and breathe this understanding. So anybody that know me and my passion for certain things. Not everything, but for certain things. And I know if I'm willing to admit on air, I don't know how many people will watch this after we go off air, but I'm telling you, I personally go see a therapist about every 2 weeks now to make sure that my mind is rebooting in a positive direction, you know, because there's so many issues that I want to cover that I don't think we have enough time today to cover.
Definitely not today.
Yeah, today. But once we get our mind in alliance with our spirituality and our heart to believing it and achieving it, it's going to be beautiful, people. It's going to be beautiful, because I know individually people are probably already doing this, but we need to come together collectively to do it, you know. And yes, it's a lot of roadblocks that happen. Yes, you know, and it's going to be more potentially roadblocks, but with the right people in place, with the right mindset in place, it's going to be someone that can figure it out for us collectively. And again, my motto is we win. I think they have some song out now, because you know I've been missing in the music business, but some song out there talk about we win. But my motto, and those who love me, and is we win. Anything else, Sean?
For today, no, I think that was it.
Okay. Thanks for all that was able to join in live with me. Please share with other people. Thanks for all that bought t-shirts for Hefe. Thanks for all that rep t-shirts. And whoever rep them, please send me a picture so I can then post you showing that you believe in the Hefe lifestyle. And with those who believe in the Hefe lifestyle, the more we get aboard, the more powerful we can become as people, and continue to build this brand awareness of a Hefe lifestyle. Again, Hefe in Spanish means boss. However, me and my brother turned it into Journey to Economic Freedom and Empowerment. Abu, shout out to you for believing in me to do this. Tanya, hey sis, how you doing? Thank you. I hope everything is going better with you. Thank you, Tanya. You know, I hope everything is going better. And yes, I can't wait for you to get back, Frank. Yes, I can't. Honestly, you know that, brother. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Carlos. Man, I appreciate everybody, man, that really had faith in me to bring this to light. I will not stop. Forget the delays in broadcasting, because things be happening internally that I don't get to go live every week yet. So once I'm able to go live every week, please, those who are not following chats, please do. I really only had the personal page so I could have the business page at chats. And I really just want to operate from chats. I need 2,000 people to follow chats on Instagram as well as Facebook. You know, once that happens, I believe they'll let me then go live weekly with my shows and whatnot. So, child, people shouting out to
hi.
you. Yeah, don't neglect the people that's shouting out. All right, you done? Anything else?
So don't forget, next week is Mental Awareness Week, October 7th to the 15th. So just get out there, spread the information, you know, have open dialogue, open conversation about everything. Don't forget, as Dad was saying, to tune in to Chet Chats. Hopefully Chet Chats Live will be back next week. We will make an announcement letting you know if it is.
As you hear that, sponsors, you heard it live from Sean. We need that sponsorship. So thank y'all for all that have joined in. Thank y'all. I look forward for your feedback. I look forward to growing with y'all. Thank you. Again, I can't thank y'all enough. Have a great day. If it's night where you at, have a great night, and continue to push forward as we all embark on this Hefe lifestyle. Peace.